Hi fam, Victoria LaChapelle here with the Daily Devo, and I have something to say. I want to talk to you guys today about two words, two powerful words, and I've said them, you've said them, we've all said them. I think probably in the last 2 months I've heard them more than in my entire life, and it's the two words, be careful. Literally, be careful when you go outside. Be careful inside, in the grocery store. Be careful in the post office. Be careful at the beach. My parents say be careful. My siblings say be careful. My coworkers say be careful. When I'm working with COVID patients at the hospital, be careful. So much, be careful. Everything you do, everywhere you turn, on the news, be careful. Wash your hands, wear a mask. It's true, do that. But what's really behind these words, be careful? Who are we really trying to be careful of? Of other people? Of strangers? Of disease? Really, people are scared of death. And people are bowing down to fear. And there's so much of it rampant in our culture right now. So I just wanted to dive in and look at what the Bible actually says. Where in the Bible it says to be careful, what the Bible is cautioning us to be careful of, and then what Jesus has to say. So there's actually a ton of Bible verses that have the words be careful in them. There's way too many to read, but I summed it up into a few categories of things. And here we go. The Bible says be careful to keep the law, keep the commandments. Ezekiel 20:19 says, I am the Lord your God. Follow my decrees and be careful to keep my laws. It's a good one. It says another is be careful to obey my commands. Obey the things the Lord has said to us. Deuteronomy 5:32. Be careful to do what the Lord your God has commanded you. Do not turn aside to the right or to the left. Be careful to do what the Lord has commanded. This is my favorite one. Be careful to love the Lord. Joshua 23:11 says, it says, be very careful, not just careful, be very careful to love the Lord your God. All right, be careful to worship the Lord. Deuteronomy 11:16 says, be careful or you will be enticed to turn away and worship other gods. That's something to be careful of. Jesus talks about false teaching in Matthew 16, and in Mark 8, he says, be careful of the yeast of the Pharisees. And this one in Luke 21:34, be careful of anxiety. It says, be careful or your hearts will be weighed down with carousing and drunkenness. Maybe it doesn't apply. And the anxieties of life. That applies. Or that day will close on you suddenly like a trap. Anxiety is a trap, and Jesus is warning us to be careful of it. So man, the Bible is saying, be careful to obey the Lord, obey his commandments, be careful to love the Lord, be careful to worship him and nothing else, be careful from anxiety and fear. So our focus shouldn't be being careful from ultimately fear, from death. Our focus should be obedience to the Lord and love for God. That's what we get to be careful to give ourselves to every single day. So I want to go to Matthew 10, actually. Jesus has so much to say about just everything that Jesus commands is so different than the message of live a careful life. In Matthew 10, wow, so much. But starting in verse 26, Jesus says, so have no fear of them. This is when he's sending out the 12 disciples, or maybe the 72. Yeah, the 12. It says, so have no fear of them, for nothing is covered that will not be revealed, or hidden that will not be known. What I tell you in the dark, say in the light, and what you hear whispered, proclaim on the rooftops. And do not fear those who kill the body, but cannot kill the soul. Don't fear death. Rather fear him who can destroy both soul and body in hell. Are not 2 sparrows sold for a penny? And not one of them will fall to the ground apart from your Father. But even the hairs of your head are all numbered. Fear not, therefore, you are of more value than many sparrows. So everyone who acknowledges me before men, I will also acknowledge before my Father who is in heaven. But whoever denies me before men, I will also deny before my Father who's in heaven. Jesus is saying don't bow down to fear, but rather have fear of the Lord. And then a few verses down, He says, whoever loves father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. And whoever loves son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. And whoever does not take up his cross and follow me is not worthy of me. Whoever finds his life will lose it. And whoever loses his life for my sake will find it. Jesus is calling us to lose our lives and to find them in him. He's saying, be careful to be obedient to me. Jesus called the disciples and he just said, follow me. No questions. And so what I'm calling us to today is obedience without question, is being careful to love the Lord our God with all of our hearts. That's what's inside of us. But to just be cautious of those words, that we don't need to be careful. Jesus didn't say to live careful lives. He said, you will trample on scorpions. You'll pick up snakes with your hands and not be harmed. You will consume deadly poison and not die. Why? Because it will accompany the preaching of the gospel and will lead to the salvation of souls. That's in Mark at the Great Commission. Man, Jesus doesn't call us to live careful lives. He sends us out and he says there's no room for fear. Just be careful to obey without question and love the Lord your God. So I don't want to say to you guys today, be careful. I want to say be obedient, love Jesus. He has so much love for you. I love you guys.